Good Sunday morning, and welcome back to the Working Man Trader weekly prep. And we're going to get ready for the next trading session here. And I'm going to go through some of the markets we're watching NQ here on futures, gold, ES, and we're going to look at some stocks and show you what we kind of prepare there. But first, we're going to mark out on the 5-minute time frame. As you see, I have here, we're going to mark out the supply and demand. And this is from the regular trading hours on Friday. And you see, this is our last up candle right here before this push down, this displacement down. So that is our supply. The demand is right here. It is our last down candle before the leg up. And so that's our demand for today when Asia opens. We have those marked. And you see we are under the 200 moving average. We are trending up currently on a 5-minute. But let's make sure we look at these higher time frames and make sure that we're doing the same. You see we did just bounce off this 15-minute 200. So, potentially we can come on up into here to 32.39. Will we do that tonight during Asia? Don't know, but it's possible. We could either come up here and sweep this or come down here and sweep and then go back up. But right now, the 1 hour looks bullish, or the 15-minute. The 1 hour does look, the 1 hour is showing potential bearishness. So we got the 8 and the 20 pointing down. We could be coming back. We broke structure down. So that's telling me that we are wanting to go lower on the 1 hour. As you see, we broke down, we pulled back, and all we're doing is coming back and testing this level here that we broke from. And so, I think the thing to watch today in the first hour on Asia or two is see, do we push back above here or do we reject and continue down? So something to watch today on NQ for that. But let's go to gold. We'll get over to it. And you see I had a zone there. That's a zone from Friday. Let's get rid of this level. And right here, and we just use regular trading hours for this. This is our last up candle. Right here, this is what I would use. Last up candle before the push down. And I always mark my supply here in yellow. And I will mark my demand in blue. And for the demand, we may have to get out. I just leave that. Demand would be down here. Looks like London, Asia is our last demand. We didn't really have anything, as you see here, in the New York session. New York session would be right in here. But, don't really see a good displacement up. This would be what I would consider New York's demand right there. Because we don't really have anything else to go from. And, we push through. So, I'm not really going to hold that too strongly there. But you see gold is bearish on the 5-minute, 15-minute. We're looking bearish at the moment. And remember, you got to wait for this. We broke above. We haven't really retested much. We are trying to here. So if it doesn't hold above this 200 on the 15-minute, we're probably going to continue down. While we're on this 15-minute, let's mark out some price targets. And we don't make it any more difficult than it has to be. That's a pretty easy level to look for right there. We've already touched this one here, as you see. The next one would be at the bottom of that little range right there. And that's also the top of this one. So then we just mark the bottom of this next one. And I'll do this and have this all prepared for myself tonight. And then I will do this early in the morning also. I'll do this on NQ. I'll do this on MNQ, ES, MES, and MGC and gold here as we're doing. But I will mark these out above and below where I think price is going to go. And I just know you don't have to make it very difficult. Just keep it simple. You can kind of see where price is going to go to. You know, like right here, yeah, this is just one candle, but you got a close and an open, and then look to your left and you have more over here. Let me bring that up so you can see it. This one right here, you see, you have this cluster over here also. That's why we marked that one. So now on the 1 hour, let's get this reset. Let's go to the 1 hour and see what we look like. You know, we look bullish on the 1 hour. So, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see what the market tells us it's going to do here. Back on the 5 minute. So now we've got those two marked. Let's get ES. And make sure if you're trading ES, make sure that you have NQ up also. And if you're trading NQ, make sure you always have ES on another screen or split screen, because that way you can look for the SMTs that show up frequently with those two, and they will help you not get into trades you shouldn't be getting into. You'll be able to, you know, you'll keep yourself from getting stopped out in a lot of those trades. So, you know, we're going to do the same thing here on ES. Then we're going to go to the 15 minute here. You're going to mark out, you know, price target levels, what we're looking for. And all these different colors are just different zones I mark throughout the day. If you see I'll have an orange and a light green also. Those are just two other 15-minute time zone. There's zones in a 15-minute range that are pretty key levels that I watch frequently and every day. Let's go to some stocks here. We'll go to Apple. And, you know, like I said, the yellow is a supply. And if we break above it, I take it off. But if we don't, I leave it. You see right here, this is the last down candle before this push down, and you only use the body of the candle on supply. We have our demand from Thursday. We never broke below it, so we leave that. As you see, I continue to leave them until we break them, because we will come back and test them. And let me go back here. Actually, I was on the 15 minute. I wasn't watching there for you, but okay. So on Apple, it's going to have a big demand zone here. And sometimes it just does. Supply, I would kind of, you know, you're going to have to wait for a move on Apple, because we're just consolidated in this little video range here almost all day long in Apple. I mean, from basically at 10:30 a.m. on. So you're just going to have to wait on it to see what it does. Even on the 15 minute, we're not doing right. We're just flat. So, you know, be careful with that. The 1 minute, you know, you don't have much room up to the 200. So it looks, you know, be cautious on it. AMD here on the 5 minute. Get rid of this zones. You see, I still have my zone here from Thursday. We never broke below it, but you see, we retested it several times here on Friday and late Thursday. So we'll leave that. That was active. And now on my supply zone for AMD, it's going to be right here. This last up candle before that displacement down right there. So that's our supply, and you see we're currently in supply. You know, that was after market hours on Friday, but we're currently in the supply zone there. Now, if you're trading AMD, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA. You could also watch NQ and do the same thing and check for the SMTs on those like you would versus ES. And that can help you get some very, very good moves on these stocks. But you just have to be sure and watch and check them. So same thing on NVIDIA or on AMD here. I will mark out, price targets. And don't try to make too difficult here. Just look for kind of key levels. This is going to be a big move here. Right there at the top of them wicks. You see I already have one up above us. And there's another one up here above that. So we have those. I mean, this is 502. And we're currently, this $12 move if it comes all the way down here. So, that should be plenty to get me a good start, know where things are going. But 15-minute, we're really bullish, but we are getting exhausted, a little extended on the 15-minute. Same thing on the hourly. You see we're getting, everything's split pretty good here. We're getting exhausted. So be careful looking to go long, I would say. On the hourly also, look for potential pullback into this range right here, 506, and then maybe continue up. But that's on AMD. And so that's what we're going to do. And then I'll just run through the rest of them: Amazon, Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA. I'll go through Microsoft, Netflix, and Google. And I will mark all of those supply demand. I'll mark the price targets. And I will see kind of the bias of each. I do have agreement in higher time frames. And I'll get a map, build me a map so I know what I'm looking for when the market's open tomorrow. And that would be my plan for the next trading session. And that's what I do every day. I always try to prepare it and get it ready because, I want to have my levels marked, my zones marked. And now I just wait for the market to come to me. Like I say, preparations first, trading is second.